Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals promised to sell surplus government properties in order to build 4,000 housing units by 2028, but a scathing report that came out from the Auditor General shown that after 5 years they'd only built 309 of those units, Mr. Speaker, on pace to only build about 12% of what they promised, that 4,000 that they promised. And this is of particular concern now as Canadians are facing a housing crisis, and this Liberal government, according to the Auditor General, is sitting on 5.9 million square feet of space that could be utilized for housing development. And we see this right across the country, but certainly in northwestern Ontario, Mr. Speaker, we're feeling that significant effect of the housing shortage. And I've heard from many people across our region that are struggling to find a place to live, many who cannot afford their first and last month's rent even to get into a new place. I've heard from some constituents who have reached out to me indicating that they have to move out of the place that they're currently living in, but they can't afford or find something suitable for them to move into and are actually facing homelessness, Mr. Speaker. I would also note that there is a great economic cost to this housing crisis. I know many employers in my district, they're struggling to find work nearby. They're looking for people to move in from around the country and frankly around the world. That's not able to happen because people can't find places to live to be able to work in northwestern Ontario. And it's come to the point now that businesses and other organizations are actually purchasing housing for themselves in order to be able to house their employees and make that as part of their package when making a job offer. As well, more broadly, Mr. Speaker, we know that nearly half of Canadians are very concerned about the housing affordability because of the rising costs of housing and rent, and up to nearly 60% of Canadians aged 20 to 35 have reported to be experiencing housing affordability challenges. And just today, in fact, Mr. Speaker, the Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation released new estimates on Canada's housing supply gaps, and they estimate, in the government's own words, that to return to the housing affordability levels of 2019, not even going back to 2015, but just to 2019, they will require the government to build between 430,000 and 480,000 new housing units over the next decade, Mr. Speaker. And that means that Canada needs to double the number of homes it builds each year to restore that affordability level. That is a big goal. We've seen reports from the TD Bank that are indicating that housing starts are actually going to decline. So we are on the complete wrong track, Mr. Speaker. I would add, with the time I have remaining, that the Conservatives have put forward a plan. We've done so in the last Parliament over the election campaign, and we still have the plan, truly the only real plan to get housing built. We've seen nothing from this government but platitudes. They won't even bring forward a budget that includes a plan for housing, and Conservatives are calling for the government to prioritize a plan to build 2.3 million new homes over the next 5 years by axing the GST on new homes, incentivizing municipalities as well to cut red tape and development taxes, and of course, to the root of my question, selling the federal properties to developers who will be able to help build more affordable housing units more quickly. Mr. Speaker, when will the Liberals finally keep the promise that they made to Canadians so that they can free up that housing development and get more homes built across the country?
Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of Housing.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank my colleague for his question and for what he had to say. As I said earlier, we agree with the fact that Canada is dealing with a housing crisis. And, Mr. Speaker, this is why the Canadian government has designed the most ambitious housing plan ever done. We will be doubling residential housing to build 500,000 homes a year. We will reduce the paper burden. We will also cut the costs of housing. We have seen the historic crisis, but because of a national strategy, a national housing strategy, we will be eliminating the need for housing for thousands of households. We will also create or support the creation of many new housing units. We will have standardized norms to help builders in the construction process. So we are taking concrete action, and we know that there has been some reduction in the cost of housing. We know that this will happen if there is a greater supply. We also have a fund to accelerate housing. We will be helping communities Canada-wide to reduce the bureaucratic burden. In my riding of Trois-Rivières, there are many homes that have been built, and many families are already living in these housing, so our plan is working. We have also committed to taking measures to improve renting. We have committed more than $23 million to improve the rate of housing, and there is a loan program for apartments. So we have also created Housing Canada. This is a public-private partnership. We will be using private lands. We will increase the supply of housing and make it affordable for Canadians with low and median incomes. We will also help to develop modular and prefabricated housing. And we will be counting on the assistance of specialized skilled workers. We will also be using softwood lumber, Canadian softwood lumber, in these constructions. We want everyone to have access to safe housing. We are playing a leadership role in housing. Our team, Team Canada, is fully committed. We are working with housing builders at all levels of government. We're working with all levels of government and Indigenous communities. We are using everything at our disposal. We hope to create a real estate market that will help everyone and build a strong Canada. That's why we were elected, and that is what we will do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the Liberals have finally admitted that there is a housing crisis, and that's a good thing. But in the very same comments articulate that they believe their plan is working. Well, they have been in government for the last 10 years, and it is because of their plan that we face this housing crisis across the country. Today, I will remind you, Mr. Speaker, that when Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre was housing minister, Conservatives built nearly 200,000 homes, and the average rent was $973 for a one-bedroom apartment. Since then, housing costs have doubled, and Canadians are struggling to afford a home, as the Liberals have rightly pointed out. And Mr. Speaker, my question was very specific to their Liberal promise to build 4,000 housing units by 2028 using surplus government property. They're only on track to meet 12% of that promised 4,000, Mr. Speaker. So can the parliamentary secretary, tell us when the government is going to keep their promise to get more homes to the market? Thank you.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As usual, our colleagues are only looking at very small parts of the Auditor General's report. They want us for media clips. But I can say that the Canadian government has committed to doubling the speed of housing construction over the next decade to build 500,000 homes a year. I would ask my colleague to read the report of the Auditor General in its entirety. We will be helping with housing in all categories, affordable housing, social housing. We will be cutting costs for builders. We are working with municipalities to cut moving costs. We are also encouraging municipalities to eliminate obstacles in order to facilitate and accelerate building homes. This will allow us to accelerate housing.
House is now deemed to have been adopted. Accordingly, this House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 10 a.m. pursuant to Standing Order 24-1.